So again, this is Thor the video game. Steven and myself, Matt, we were producers on the game. We've been working on this game for about 2 years, and literally we finished it just last week, and we brought to you these videos and the games you can play yourself just for C2E2. Steven's going to set it up and play a little bit of the game for you, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit what it's like making a video game, especially based on a movie. So basically about 2 years ago, when Marvel asked us if we wanted to make a video game, we jumped at the chance. We thought it'd be great to do Thor, and they have a movie coming, the comic book character's great. Hey, turn this part down. And then, so we went down there and they let me read the script to the movie, which sounded great, and started talking to the movie makers. We said, the script looks really good, but Thor has a lot going for him that's not in this movie. Can we bring Ulick in? Can we have Surtur in this game? How about Ymir? They said, do whatever you want. We just want a great, I think it's this guy. Okay, all right, sorry. And they said, do what you want. So we said, great. So we started fashioning a story. We got Matt Fraction, who's wrote a lot of Thor stories, to help us out craft this really cool story. So as you might expect, Loki plays a big part in it. He's making trouble, he's making a mess of things, and you play Thor and you have to fix stuff. So you travel to all these different worlds. You travel to Niflheim, Vanaheim, Muspelheim, fight some of your classic enemies, Ulick, Ymir, Surtur, and play this thing we do is we figure out how you're going to make a fun game with Thor. Now you think it might be easy, but it actually is kind of tough, but it is fun. The first thing you do is you figure out what his attacks are going to be. Now the main thing, as you might expect, is use Thor's hammer. So it's a lot of melee attacks, lots of combos, a lot of weapon attacks. Then the other big thing about Thor is he's got elemental attacks. He controls lightning, you can bring it down. You can make giant tornadoes to kill your enemies, or create earthquakes. So combined with your melee attacks and your god powers, that's how you defeat these enemies. So right here you can see these frost giants are attacking Asgard and you're trying to defend them. Another cool thing, these frost giants, they're actually in the movie. So I went down there one of the times I visited the set, and all these guys were dressed up. You had all these giant actors all in blue, hanging out, and backstage you're sitting there drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. Not very frost giant-like, but I tell you, it was pretty neat to see. So what you do here, so he's using both his melee attacks, his combos, and there he's doing an earthquake attack. So all these things combined to help you do Thor. Now there's one more thing we decided we want to do. Because Thor traditionally is a brawler. You know, he is smart, he's a tactician, but he solves his problems using his strength. So you can also grapple these guys. So you have all these different grappling moves, so you can get up close to him and pull him around and throw him across the level. And while I'm doing this, I do want to make sure I answer any questions. So if anybody has any questions about making video games, how we made this, or this game in particular, feel free to let us know, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Alright, so now we defeated this frost giant, and we want to have big enemies in this world, because Thor is so powerful. We know it's easy for him to take his hammer and take out a whole swath of enemies, but we want to have something that feels threatening. So we created a large array of giant enemies. And in this case, these frost giants have this ability to control ice, but they want to get big. So what they do is they use these jade accelerators, and they can use these to help control ice even more. And in this case, he's going to use his jade accelerators to pour all the moisture from the air and the ice to create a frost Goliath. So you can see he's forming himself up now. And he's getting a little bit bigger, a little bit more threatening for Thor, but as you might expect, probably not any problem for Steven. Steven's played this game a couple times, so I'm sure he can handle it. Well, we'll see. No pressure. Now the other thing we wanted to do, so we've got his melee attacks, we've got his god powers, we've got the grappling and melee attacks. I already said that, we got that twice. You also have a deep upgrade tree. So for advanced players who want to learn more moves, want to upgrade their player, you can also, as you play, you can upgrade things. So you can get a variety of hammer throws, you can get different melee attacks. You can upgrade their lightning power to make it even more stronger. More stronger? Sure. So again, what we're playing right here, this is the 360 version. We also have a PS3 version, we have a Wii version, we have a DS version, and each of those, we went out and hired different groups of people to create each of those versions. So they're each unique to the platform to make sure that it really fit into the strengths of each platform. So the great thing is you can buy every version and you'll love each one. Buy 2 copies of each, and you don't want to take it out of the packaging because this thing's going to be worth a lot someday. And I'm sure you're all aware of that. So there you go. That's May 3rd. So wait in line. score.
I don't know about that.
Movie comes out May 5th. So after you play the video game all week, you can go out and see the movie and then play the game again. So you can see what he's doing here. One of the things we want to do different in this game is allow the player to jump around on these giant enemies. You're not just jumping up there and hitting buttons, whatever they say. You actually have to control what Thor does. And in this case, Steven is working to take out those giant accelerators, which make him such a giant Frost Goliath. Or name, Frost Goliath. Not very creative, but you get the point. Again, if there's any questions, just raise your hand, and I'll try to answer them or make something up that sounds really good. You have a question?
I think the one from the Xbox difference was the Wii, because like the Wii is like kind of cartoonish.
That's a good question. He's pointing out that the Wii version looks much more cartoony or comic book style than the 360. And that's a choice we made. When you're making these games, the 360 and the PS3 have a lot more processing power, where the Wii is not quite as strong. And the Wii generally tends to a younger audience. So we changed the visual style between these to fit the style of game. Again, so you like them both? That's good. That's cool. Alright, so next, so we beat the Frost Goliath. Next thing we want to show you is Surtur. Now, Surtur is really cool. He's the first creature we made. And again, this is like over a year and a half ago when we first started making this game. And we took Surtur because Surtur is the classic Thor enemy. And one of the cool things about Surtur is we talked to the Marvel guys, the comic book guys, the movie guys, and they said, just make him look cool. So that's what we tried to do here. And we said we also want to make him look really big, because we want him threatening to Thor. He's not the final enemy, but he's next to final. Now, the movie guys had the best idea, which we incorporated into here. After they saw the design, they saw how big Surtur is, they said, now wouldn't it be great if Thor could run up Surtur's sword? So one of the things you have to do here is when Surtur sticks his sword and gets it stuck in the ground, you're Thor, you actually run up the sword and jump on Surtur's back. And you'll see Steven do that in just a minute. Again, so right now you're looking at the 360 version. All the versions come out right before the movie on May 3rd. Both Steven and I are the producers on the game. We work to make it. So again, if you have any questions about the game or making the game, I'll try to answer the best I can. Yeah.
Are there any Easter eggs, any other Marvel characters, changing costumes?
That's a good question. Now, we don't have other Marvel characters because we tried to keep it with the movie. So we've got like Loki and Odin, Sif from the movie. Now, costumes, what we do, each version has different costumes. So there are collectibles you can we hit in the level you can find. So, for example, in the next-gen version, you can get the Ultimate's costume, you can get his helmet, put it on. You can also get the Destroyer armor, wear the Destroyer armor and play. So we tried to add some more of the Thor lore to this game as much as possible, but no other Marvel characters. Thanks for the question. As you can see, he ran up the sword. Now he's taking out Surtur. Now, one of the things I noticed, I don't know if you read the comic book, you never really see Surtur smile. He's always unhappy. And the same thing here. He's really upset all the time. But as you might expect, Thor, here he goes, bringing the lightning storm. Thor takes him out, as you might expect. Steven's doing a good job of it. So again, we have all the bosses that you might expect. Well, not all of them, but hopefully the ones you like. Ulick, Ymir, Surtur. You travel through all the worlds. What you're seeing here are just some of the large creatures. Most of the game, you're traveling and exploring these worlds to get to these bosses. You have to fight through the minions that exist. And through that, you're upgrading your character, learning how to do different combos, different melee attacks. And each version, the 360 and the PS3, the Wii, the DS, are all slightly different to fit the platform. And they all come out May 3rd. So you can play this game in 3D. So if you have a 3D TV, we support that. If you don't have a 3D TV, we also have it in 3D, and you can wear those red and blue glasses. And it looks pretty cool. Thor's coming right at you. All right, so I only have like one more minute here. So I don't know if there's any last questions. If not, you're also willing to play it in the last couple moments we have at C2E2. This is the only time, because we literally finished it a week ago, that anybody in the public will be able to play it before the game comes out. So if you have additional questions, you can ask us, you can play the game, and look for it on store shelves on May 3rd. So thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, you can clap if you want. That's cool. Yeah, there you go. I like that. All right, thank you.